That's right, we get to jump in with Man City's Cold and Dignitas Acorn here, the 3X himself already on the move. It seems like we're over at the Grim Gates. They had a team in sight. This is 6 eliminations right now for Cold and Acorn. But again, the highlight of their setting so far is probably this game. We haven't seen them pace this fast, this early.
They've definitely been relatively quiet throughout opens leading into this first week of competition, but definitely a strong look for Acorn and Cold. 2 mythics in hand leads me to believe that it's not just the aspect of agility they're controlling, but also that aspect of speed, potentially, if they have that mythic Hunter's DMR. And I like the little bit of scouting that Acorn is trying to do from the rooftops here at Grimgate. DMR definitely apply pretty big punch, especially when you have that 4x scope on it. It can be difficult for other players to escape your aim, but Cold, quick with the replay, you can see part of the reason why they're able to control Grimgate so efficiently, and it's just right in and out of the box. Bolt's duo did not really seem to anticipate Cold to just collapse on him so quickly, but again, 6 elims, definitely a strong start for this team carrying into their mid and late game.
Yeah, definitely off to the races here, pacing in the right direction. Let's look at Macwood and Blake's situation here. Macwood leads the charge here, but we've seen once Blake has gotten to those end games, he has done everything in his power, everything he needs to do to stay alive, clutch up, and earn those eliminations, which has been impressive. I love the way Vivid put it earlier. We might just be seeing Blake peaking V2 here in this season, which is definitely very cool to see. He's been around the scene for such a long time.
For sure, but with Blake and Macwood being here at Lavish Lair, every time I see this POI, I always tend to think Clicks and Epic Whale, and I understand the fact that they might not necessarily be in this particular lobby. Keep in mind, this is a rolling lobby format, 250 duos cycling through, potentially 5 lobbies at a time. But it's a POI that can provide a lot. A couple of opportunities potentially for weapon bunkers to spawn and a forecast tower as well. So could be a contributing factor to the reason why we've seen Clicks and Epic Whale have every single one of their placements on the day be in that top 5 position, which is part of the reason why we saw them in that 3rd place position on the leaderboard. So a nice amount of series points that they're definitely aiming to build up in week number 1.
This 8 eliminations so far. Just when we pretty much slid away, they already started picking up another set of eliminations. The replay is going to show you just how it all happened here. And it was a situation that played out to actually end up saving Cold in the process, keeping him alive. This is something we've seen happen in the past here. Is Cold is usually the type of player who wants to lead the charge.
It's really easy to get distracted by how flashy a lot of the highlight reels can be for Cold, but Acorn definitely deserves his flowers too. He has done an excellent job alongside Cold, and we've seen Acorn in ample solo clutch scenarios coming out on top. That last circumstance proving to just be another instance where Acorn takes all of his veteranship, and a little crispy on the cleanup as well. 8 elims, definitely something that Duo can feel really good about, and that's why they don't even bother entertaining the team that just threw a little tag Cold's way. They don't have to entertain these exchanges because they can just prioritize exclusively on rotations when they have 8 eliminations. That's so much surge damage already built up.
Yeah, and they have the medallions, right? Like we talked about, to give them that advantage. So positioning is surely going to be in their benefit. Coming in with 20 infused though, who's on the move right now. Very clean rotate here, right through the cut. No resistance, no friction. You get right into a spot here on the edge zone. But no, they have options to choose from, and they're going to go ahead and elevate themselves a little bit more here. On the other side, Hove and Diego right now on the move as well. Just at the edge, inside the water. Not sure if I like this spot, but it is a spot nonetheless.
There's definitely nobody near them. which could be a pretty big benefit. It does appear as though dead side rotate is their intention, but Diego, right as I mentioned that, spotting out another duo built on a hill directly above them. So they will have to be a little bit careful traversing forward, although it could also potentially be another opportunity for Diego and Hoff to acquire another 2 eliminations. Get some more surge going just in case they feel as if 3 eliminations isn't enough. But materials, relatively easy for them to farm back up. Metal, on the other hand, could be a little bit more hard-pressed to come by, but Diego definitely looked relatively healthy in that hard material.
Yeah, definitely. And players are dropping pretty fast now. We're already at 48 here. So we're getting closer and closer to zone number 8. Now just outside the lavish layer where the zone's going to end here. Twix has company rotating nearby. Are they going to put the pressure down? They are. It's onto Drizzy Bot. Little Rico here. So far, so good. Great tags here for Lumini. He's going to push right on in. Feeling the confidence start to surge once he finds his tags.
Looked as though Drizzy and, well, Rich were also getting tagged up by a team playing slightly higher up. It seems as though Twix and Leywin caught wind of it as well. So you can see a little bit of a pause here. They didn't want to fully commit to that box fight engagement, kind of understanding the fact that it's a little bit more exposed than they would like it to be. Definitely tentative with how they're choosing to press forward here. Instead, they're going to continue creating some boxes on that low ground. Meanwhile, Zert and Panic about to layer up over everybody else. They've got to be careful. The way that the zone's continuing to pool, it's only a matter of time before some congestion could potentially look to build inside of that mid-ground area. And Zert and Panic, they don't want to be caught in the crossfire, because as soon as you draw the attention of the lobby, it feels as though it's relentless, as if every single team is never going to give up shooting into your boxes, and it's crazy just how fast your hard materials can be expended in those instances.
And this is a tough spot for them to be in right here. No forms of mobility that we can see. So the timing is going to be absolutely crucial. Little Flowberry Fizz, so they'll have a little bit to work with here. And they do right across there. Shows you the power of having the Fizz on deck. Makes all the difference here. Meanwhile, Twix slides right on behind Panic. He ends up finding one of them. There goes the full elimination. It's a great, great pickup there for him.
But at what cost? The med kits will be expended. Fortunately, still has one in tow. 80 Fizz to work with as well, but the Flowberry Fizz, that secondary pickup, definitely a huge swing there to help them keep propelling their game forward. One more time, looking at Diego and Hav. Looks like they could be caught in a fight here. Recognize the fact that Wiz directly underneath them, but no, instead, Diego gonna take his time. Gonna opt to build up instead. Wants to try and use some height leverage over everybody else on the mid and low ground.
Back on with Cold and Acorn in the low ground here, doing well. Using the eastern side of the zone here to move out. And the options to pick from, all the luxury of time to do it as well. High ground shot shows you that the west side of the zone was completely empty here. Void takes full advantage there with Ralphie to get a clean rotate. Meanwhile, Cold and Acorn dash across, so that might be just it for their underward dashes, but here comes another fight. Trying to push up to 10 eliminations here. Anything is possible, but there's a lot of players alive. Went from not so stacked to extremely stacked here. Over 30 up in the game here as we're just in zone number 9, so it's gonna start looking extremely congested here. Those players on the low ground as well.
It's the fact that Cold was potentially looking for a quick scope opportunity on some of these teams that are looking to try and rotate through these low ground layers. And again, these underworld dashes just saving Cold and Acorn so many of their materials and giving them such effortless rotates in the process, something that Zert wishes he could have. But that's going to be one more elimination added to the tally count here. Cold and Acorn just shy of 10 eliminations here, sitting on 9.
Here he goes, cutting all the way across here. It's allowing him to make it look nice and easy. And of course, it's the medallion, giving them all the advantage now. Diego and Hove, all that slow play ends up playing out well for them as they have control of the high ground here.
For now.
Very comfortable. Yeah, I was gonna say, very comfortable so far, but you have a team like Acorn and Cold who can dash their way to high ground off the Flowberry Fizz. I mean, anything is possible. And just as we say that, Diego gets absolutely keyed here by Cold. This is where he works his magic best. Absolutely incredible high ground take there. There's nothing you can do about it. If you're not absolutely prepared. And look at that. Diego jumps down. Lewin finds him there in the process.
Everything about Acorn and Cold's positional status on the low ground was a certain indicator that they were just waiting for a prime opportunity to seize the high ground. It is just so difficult to keep tabs on a team that has that aspect of agility to prevent them from just immediately pouncing on your head like what we just saw Cold and Acorn do. But Eclipse, Lagana, doing a decent job here, trying to apply some tags, get a little bit of damage going on to Acorn, but it's going to be Cold, alleviating that pressure, flanking from the backside, diverting the attention now. Eclipse and Ghana, they're not going to be able to find any further opportunities onto Acorn. Instead, it's going to be Ghana turned around on by Kaizen, and that will spell the end for his duo as well. Eclipse as Cold does it. One-man show just about, but keep in mind, Acorn still making the pop-offs at the end there as well. Cold just playing Disorienter on the low. And a nice amount of eliminations between the two of them with 9 and 8 apiece.
Yeah, they rocket their way up to a 17 elimination victory royale out of nowhere. That's definitely going to put them back in the conversation. I think they were one of the few teams, too, that were running through a fair amount of games, so they needed a big one to really solidify themselves up towards the upper half of the standings here as we start inching our way towards the overall points in the leaderboards. But take a look here. Once they got the high ground, it was the Cold and Acorn show. They played it very well, very dominant, very confident in their positioning, and they knew right then and here, oh, we got to get points, right? We're not going to allow the lobby to just run this course here. We don't want to do any heal-offs. There's no reason to get the points, get in and get out, and just like that, Acorn and Cold find themselves a great victory out here on the platform. So Zeke, catch us up with the numbers here now.